Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, colleagues, friends. When meeting at Mondiacult, the UNESCO World Conference on Cultural Policies and Sustainable Development in Mexico in 2022, the participating 135 ministers of culture reiterated the call for the protection of cultural heritage, tangible and intangible, as well as cultural expressions, notably in times of crisis. They condemned actions that target culture in the context of armed conflicts and the use of cultural properties or its surroundings for military purposes. In this regard, the ministers supported the efforts for the effective implementation of norms and standards of international law in this field, notably UNESCO's conventions, but also they requested for the strengthening of action in emergency situations as an ethical and security imperative to combat organized crime and the financing of terrorism based on the relevant UN resolutions by bringing together all concerned international institutions and organizations and the existing technical and financial mechanisms, with a view to supporting countries in their protection efforts, international solidarity, and national recovery strategies. In this regard, today's and tomorrow's meeting on protecting heritage from crisis to peace that is organized by ALIF and the Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs and the Federal Office of Culture is an important milestone. And I would like to express, of course, my thanks for the invitation to UNESCO to participate in these discussions. The facilitation of international cooperation and the mobilization of actors for the protection, safeguarding, and promotion of culture, including in emergencies, is an essential component of UNESCO's work. In this vein, UNESCO convened an international partner coordination meeting on improving international coordination and response effectiveness to safeguard culture in emergencies last September. And there were important recommendations that emerged from the discussions with our partners, ranging from a need to enhance efforts in emergency preparedness and integrating young professionals into trainings, to improving data sharing and the use of new technologies and artificial intelligence. The value of data management and sharing across organizations was emphasized, and the need to better link the culture sector with humanitarian efforts also highlighted. Since this meeting in September, we have continued our efforts. UNESCO has developed and piloted a fire manual for cultural natural heritage sites. We have launched the development of guidelines for heritage-sensitive debris removal and rubble management in conflict and post-conflict settings. And we are currently conducting a comprehensive global survey to explore how conflicts and disasters impact women within the culture sector, while also looking at and recognizing the role that women play in situations of emergencies. Last month, we organized a regional training for experts, law enforcement and judiciary on the fight against illicit trafficking in Cairo, especially targeting Palestine and Sudan and its neighboring countries, to which a number of the partners present here today also contributed, and thank you for that. As you remember, on the occasion of the marking of the 70th anniversary of the UNESCO 1954 Hague Convention, we launched a few new initiatives, including trainings for judiciary on matters related to the damage and destruction, as well as illicit trafficking of cultural property, but also a civil-military alliance on cultural property protection to enhance the military's capacity to safeguard and respect cultural property. And I'm very honored to announce that next week in Paris, we will host the first meeting of this civil-military alliance. Looking back at the last decade of engagement in culture and emergencies, we can see that we have jointly made notable progress. As Madam Bachmann mentioned, the idea that culture is a global public good has taken root. From Palestine to Ukraine, from Syria to Myanmar, culture now figures in strategic frameworks in a way that was perhaps unthinkable 10 years ago. Drawing on some of our successful joint interventions, where we have managed to draw on our different expertise, pool resources, build on complementarities, such as in Mosul, Yemen, or Bandiagara, we also see a wider recognition of culture as an important contributor to economic development, as a source of livelihoods, but also as a lever for peace. Yet much needs to be done. Crises are multiplying, propelled by extreme weather events, pandemics, and protracted conflicts. Most of the countries are still ill-prepared for situations of emergencies. Heritage responders still lack predictable financing, interoperable data, and smooth coordination with humanitarian actors. And too many voices from local communities, women, indigenous peoples, and the youth remain underrepresented when decisions are made. I therefore look very much forward to our discussions tomorrow. I'm confident that we will all leave from Geneva with a few concrete, actionable outcomes that can be translated into tangible benefits for the heritage of humankind that we serve together. Thank you very much for your attention.